And we are back. Once again, my name is Vince Ainger, the host for today. Lynn Keefe is in the studio with us today. Lynn is the Director of General Services, not a stranger again, not a stranger to Channel 6. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. It sounds like a big job, Director of General Services.
Well, it's a big team, and we all work together, both within our department and across the campus and with the residents. So it takes each and every one of us to get it all done. Yeah.
And you've got a lot to tell us today.
Well, a few updates on some things that are typically of interest to folks. Although the weather, I heard them say this morning it was going to be a high of 89, so really? Not as much concern about our sprinkler lines freezing right now, but that project continues.
I'm supposed to know about that, aren't I?
Yes, well, and as one of our resident ambassadors, you know, we certainly appreciate that help out of the gate. So to date, we have completed all of the resident buildings in Neighborhood 3. In Neighborhood 2, they've completed Jackson Court, Hampton Place. They're finishing up Connor Terrace this week, and then we'll move to Forest View. The nice weather that we've had has really allowed them to pick up the pace. And once they complete Forest View next week, then they will be moving to Neighborhood 1.
And is this the insulation?
This is the insulation portion. Okay, so we've received our preliminary report from the fire suppression engineers who have been out and crawling through spaces and destructive openings. And we are just beginning to look at that. We'll have their final report by week's end, and then we'll begin to look at what does the interior work, the sprinkler line, any adjustment, addition, changes within residential apartments and what that looks like. So more information there to come. Thought I'd just mention some of the things that we've completed. It's only April. It feels like it should be later in the year perhaps, but we have finished the life cycle renovation of the guest rooms. If you use those, I'm sure you've noticed a huge difference. Projects that not really everyone over here in independent living notices, but they were large projects. The SpectraLink, which is the communication system for our team at Garden Ridge, as well as Roam Alert, which are the bracelets for those with a desire to exit and those with cognitive impairment. So those two project upgrades have been completed. We also improved the elevator floors over on Garden Ridge, and we've been using that as a test. So we shared an image of that. They're beautiful. They look like warm wood floors, but it's a material that is very indestructible. I won't say totally, but and also very friendly for maintenance. So the upkeep of those has really shown that this is a great product, and so that will become the standard for our independent living elevators. So if you've not been over to Garden Ridge, when you get there, take a look at the floors and the elevators. We have also completed the Maple Creek Forest View Main Street upgrade, new tables throughout the community and a lot of the classroom and craft areas, and replaced sprinkler heads in the common areas throughout the community that needed to be done. And we also did repair to the eaves. That's some of the building facades throughout the campus. But that's just what's been done. We also have quite a few things in process. Now, the art wall has been completed, and I know Pam talked a little bit about the resident art wall.
Really looks nice.
Beautiful space.
Yeah, really nice.
Also, another resident request was the addition of some more comfort height toilets, and those have been installed. Under the cover of darkness overnight while everybody's sleeping. That has been done in the public restrooms. And we're in process of refreshing the resident building resident laundries. There are some folks who don't have washer and dryer in their apartment, or you may choose to go and use one of those larger units. So those spaces are being refreshed one at a time, communicating the work that's going to be done and any impact it may have to not being able to use it. We are also installing the auto doors. That's where the door will open on its own after you insert your key. And that's according to the priorities that the Resident General Services Committee established about a year and a half ago. We're also replacing 23 stanchions across the campus that have been rusted or are not in good repair, so you'll see that. We will be replacing community building doors in Neighborhood 2. resident apartment entry doors in neighborhood 1. And again, more detail to come. We aren't just going to show up and take your door. Retaining wall, we're still waiting for Fairfax County permitting, but any day now.
Retaining wall.
That's across from Parkview. It's actually in that, when you come up to the stop sign, it'll be on your left. And most folks don't even notice that.
Sure. And what's going on with that?
So we're just waiting for the permits to come through from the county, and the vendor is then ready to go in and shore that up. It's some work.
Sure.
We assess those every year to see if there's any movement.
Sure.
Now, if you've been on or off the campus recently, you probably noticed a little more activity at that particular corner.
Yes,
so
yes,
you see some equipment out there. It's pretty easy to identify because it says temporary boilers right on the side.
Yes.
So we are doing some work in 2 of the resident buildings in neighborhood 1 and the town center building, and replacing some boilers. That's our domestic hot water, and we needed to bring in a temporary boiler to make sure that we can sustain what is necessary during that time, because we've had some failures. So that's part of the project. So the team was here over the weekend and late into the night last night to get everything hooked up. So you'll continue to see some activity, but once that project wraps in a couple weeks, those will go away.
I think I saw the temporary going in, and then yesterday I saw a big truck with, I guess.
They brought some of the storage tanks up from Newport News that are necessary to work with those condensing boilers. Yeah,
one of your guys was sitting out in the truck outside watching all of this, and I said to him, "Do you ever go home?" You know?
That's right. Our senior facilities manager spent some really long hours over the weekend. Yeah. So great things to come. One that's really of interest to residents is the windows. So we are slated to replace windows in neighborhood 1 this year.
Really?
And we are getting very, very close. We've been working with Brooksby Village, which is outside Boston. They're also at that point. And we're working together to share expertise and make sure that the specs that are coming together will not only benefit us, but enterprise-wide for communities of our age who will be replacing windows. So the RFP is set to go out in the next week or so, and then we will be installing some sample windows here at Green Spring, and we'll be communicating an opportunity for residents to come and touch and feel, see what they look like, open and close. And those will be installed in some resident apartments in neighborhood 1. So that'll be a great opportunity for input.
I remember once commenting on the windows when Sheila was here, Sheila Fry, and I hate to complain, but I commented. I said, the windows leak.
Yes.
And Sheila said, you know, we're studying that, and it's not an easy decision to make.
It is not an easy decision.
And you cannot make a mistake because they're expensive.
That's right. So that's why we're working with another community. We're looking at all kinds of specs that are set up prior to the RFP going out about what it is we're looking for, and we'll have more information in the next month or so. We'll be starting to install before the end of summer, so quite a project.
Sure.
Something else that we hear about doesn't affect as many folks, but certainly those with patios that have an awning.
Sure.
So
we've got 3 minutes, Lynn.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll make sure I cover the important things. So we've done some sample cleanings. We've had vendors in to come in and really take a look. We weren't satisfied with the quality of what was done previously, and we've got a great vendor. We have some great before and after, and so the contract is being established, and then we will establish a time frame and communicate to residents who have awnings. We have some that need a little bit of repair. We have a very small number that need to be fully replaced, and the rest really need to just be improved. So look for that communication to come. I would also share, this is an important point, we're doing, in addition to the twice annual filter change and smoke detector checks, on the top floors they've started first, and they're doing an enzyme treatment. Okay, so sometimes, over time, things build up in the pipes. So that's an ongoing maintenance. But I just would ask residents, there are products available now, things that are similar to baby wipes, but they say flushable.
I see, yeah.
We want to make sure we're not flushing those things.
Sure.
So lots of
Yeah.
communication to go out. We want to make
Yeah.
sure that we're not adding to any potential clogs,
Yeah.
overflows, things like that. So lots of other things coming and going. I can't leave without talking about the new shuttle. So I know that they've got a little bit of footage. We'll be sharing a bit more. The new shuttle,
I heard
really,
about that.
this is the result of a lot of resident input. And it is a low floor, meaning the bus does not have to raise and lower when it arrives at the stop. It does have a ramp, so it can accommodate rollators, wheelchairs, EMVs. The seats in the front are removable or flip up and down so that we can accommodate wheelchairs and EMVs that have the appropriate tie downs, so it's very flexible. And then in the back of the bus, it's not in yet. The bus is here, we're using it, but it's going to go out for about a week. And it's got some custom storage in the back that will be great for shopping trips to accommodate packages so they're not flowing through the interior. There are no steps inside. The seating is very comfortable. So if you've not had that chance yet, you will in the coming weeks. But do know that it will be out for about a week when we get that installed. We wanted to get it here as quickly as possible.
You said new shuttle, and new means within the last couple of weeks, I think. doesn't it?
Yes, I believe it was just about a week ago that we took that early delivery.
We're down to 1 minute now.
So, thank you for the role that everybody played in doing that, and enjoy the shuttle. It will be useful for a number of things, both around the campus, special trips, and shopping.
Okay. You get pretty much everything in that you
Oh, well,
wanted?
I've got a
you
few
got
more,
things.
but I think those were the biggies.
Okay, yeah, we'll save it for next month. And I'm curious. I asked Pamela, who was on before you. I said, Pamela, my guess is you have a staff of 20 to 25. She said 218. So I'm not going to try to guess. and you do the contracting also. You've got a lot of contracting people.
We do.
Yeah.
It takes everybody's effort, and we all work together.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for coming, and look forward to you next month coming again.